For over 40 years, the leading scientists in the world have been telling us we're headed down a very dangerous path, that there are opportunities if we change directions.
The Burlington Community Foundation has been developed for the people of Burlington by developing a series of funds. People can donate money that is placed into specific funds that is endowed permanently, and the interest earned on that money is given back to the community in the form of grants. One of the areas of concern for us is a community area is the environment, and we should all be, and as the messaging that we heard today, how important the environment is. What we need to do is to raise a conscious awareness of what people could do within their own community. At the Burlington Community Foundation, we have an environmental fund, and we are trying to encourage people to help us to grow that fund so that we can do better work in the community regarding environmental issues.
And then we've done two things. We now have everybody on side because we're all in agreement, and we have a target. We know what direction we want to go. So if there's a developer, if someone wants to extend a quarry or build more houses or triple lane the roads, you first say, wait, does that get us closer or away from the target we want a generation from now? Well, we don't really know what sustainability is anymore. You see, we've undermined the air, water, and soil and biodiversity to such an extent, I don't think anyone can say what is it that's going to allow us to be completely in the balance. Things are so upset. So what we've got to do is bring bits and pieces without any idea what the final picture is going to be. But we've got to start on looking at the pieces. And there are lots of opportunities. You know, I was coming down here to Burlington last week at night. I couldn't believe the number of buildings where whole floors were lit up. Not a person in the building, no cars in the parking lot, and yet the building is lit up. What the heck are we doing? You know, so a lot of buildings have these giant signs with their name with huge lights on them. You don't have to advertise in the middle of the night when nobody's here. I mean, we've got so much opportunity to start becoming much more energy efficient. And those are bits and pieces of the puzzle. We have no idea what the final picture is going to be at this point. Over half of all Nobel Prize winners saying we could have as little as 10 years to avoid a catastrophe, and this is not newsworthy? If that isn't terrifying, I don't know what is. We said, what can we as individuals do to lighten our effect on Earth? Because the most common question I'm asked is, what can I do? And so we partnered with the Union of Concerned Scientists, which is an excellent group in the States, and said, where do we as individuals impact the most with the environment? Quickly, it was obvious. It's how we move, where we live, and what we eat. So transportation, housing, and food are the three areas where all of us have an impact. And then we said, can we lighten that? So we came up with these 10 things, and they are such things as give up meat 1 day a week. And people say, well, what difference does that make? Meat is a very environmentally expensive product. You use a huge amount of water just to raise meat, and it's very high on the food chain. In many ways, it's a very expensive item. So if you can give up meat 1 day a week, we save in terms of your car, leave it at home 1 day a week. These are not hard things, but you can actually quantify how much of an effect it will have. In terms of your house, if you're getting a new household appliance, especially a big thing like a hot water tank or a refrigerator, you can get the Energy Guide, most efficient ones. You can save up to 80% of your energy if you get the latest high efficiency products. So it's just a matter of being very practical and taking energy into consideration. Well, I'd like to get 1 million people taking the Nature Challenge, because I believe if that happens, I could take that to any politician, any businessman, and say, look, will you sign this? And they will, because 1 million Canadians are doing that. But when I say, will you sign this? I want to say, do you know why this is important? This is how we're going to drive the whole issue of lightening our footprint on the planet.
What would be one simple thing for someone watching this story? What would be one thing they could do right now to make a difference?
Well, that's what everybody wants. They want a magic bullet. Go to the davidsuzuki.org website and sign on for the Nature Challenge. There are 10 things you can do right there. We are air. Whatever we do to the air, we do directly to ourselves. Air should be considered sacred. It gives us life and supports all life on Earth and links us to the past and into the future.